Hello, friends. My name is Aslam Sheikh, your host for this evening. I'm a founder and CEO of Aleph and wish you very, very happy New Year and very, very excited to present this particular topic on this New Year Eve. Aleph is a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. And this is our 37th webinar series and broadcasted live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every Friday, we aim to bring in the valuable speakers to discuss the topics that is important to you and for your career. Those students, parents, counselors, or the influencers who are joining us first time, let me quickly introduce you who we are and what we do. So let me quickly share the screen with you. Okay. So Alif is the first alphabet in Arabic and Urdu language, which signifies the beginning. And for most of the students, it's the first time stepping outside the country for a long duration or for the study purpose. And it's a new beginning for their educational life. And hence, this is the name for them. This is our core team who helps us to run through the different processes. Our company established in 2008, 2009. Until now, we have counseled over 23,000 students. We maintain a very healthy 100% admission ratio and 95% visa success ratio. We have universities across 14 countries. The two biggest companies or industry affiliations are ISEF from Germany and Weber, and Aleph is affiliated to both of these prime bodies. We are also certified by British Council. We are the member of BNI Plus chapter, etc., etc. In this pandemic, we had the reason to rejoice. We had been selected among the top 10 most recommended overseas education consultants by Insight Success. What we guarantee is 100% admission to the universities which we represent based on our expertise of their eligibility criteria. These are some of the world-renowned universities where our students are studying their bachelor's, PG, or a master's programs. We also offer help the students to get the scholarship. Until now, 2019, we have 23,000 crore rupees of scholarship distributed to our students by various universities under different scholarship heads which are there in front of you. These are some of our scholarship recipients which are in front of you, and these are the students who may have got scholarship as low as $1,500 to as high as 100% tuition fee waiver. We offer career counseling to students. That's a first step because most of the time students are unclear or not sure about what they want to do in their life. So we use the modern technology like DMI and student ability tests to help to identify their strengths and weaknesses. We also help the students to undergo the IELTS coaching, which is almost compulsorily required by most of the universities and colleges across the world. We also help the students for study abroad consulting right from student profiling into the applications to visa process, air tickets, and accommodation. These are some of the student success stories which you can watch more onto our YouTube channel or Facebook page. The countries which we represent across different continents are in front of you, like in Europe, North America, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. So you have got an array of options to choose what you would want to opt for. We also offer the Edge Out programs whereby we help the students to prepare for the cross-culture training. Like cross-culture training is very important when you want to travel to a first time a new country. You might not be sure about the culture, about the ethics, about the etiquettes, etc. We maintain the very healthy 95% student satisfaction ratio. You can see our followerships and subscriberships by joining us on different social media channels. We also organize a lot of events or participate in a lot of international and local events like in Germany, Switzerland, India. Our counselors constantly travel to different universities to meet our students. I travel and meet my students, and that's how we keep ourselves updated. These are some of our success stories, like student from Mumbai, like Akshay in front of you, has made a career in Dell Technologies after doing his MBA in Ireland, and Shweta has done her master's in electrical engineering in US, and now she's working in New Jersey. Well, about me, I've counseled over 1,000 plus students, traveled to 14 plus countries. I've been certified consultants by the ISEF, WEBA, and British Council, and also I've been chosen among the top 10 best consulting leaders for this year. So that's about us, and let's move to our today's topic, which is very exciting. We've already got a lot of inquiries and a lot of points, which we have summarized kind of as questions, which we are going to ask to our eminent speakers to answer your queries. Let's begin. And before beginning this topic, I would request that if you have got any comments or any questions to ask, please write into the comment box, and we'll be more than happy to take those questions if we have time available with us. So we are live at the moment, and we are being joined by 28 students across the different social media pages, and on both the YouTube channels we have got approximately 38 students and parents or the student counselors. So thank you very much for your time, and let's do the honor of introducing our today's speakers. So let me have our first speaker in the room. Hi, let's welcome Fazana. Hello, Fazana.
Hi, everyone, and great to be here, Aslam, and looking forward to a conversation with you and the amazing student, counselor, parent fraternity.
Thank you, Fazana. Sorry, thank you very much for your time. So let me quickly introduce Fazana. Fazana is a victory coach, and she inspires those seeking victory in life and business to win. She's a former ad professionals and now life coach. She has served and been instrumental in changing the lives of over 6,000 clients, including entrepreneurs and corporate executives across 19 countries successfully. As a motivational speaker and leadership trainer, she's facilitated sessions at BBC, Google, DHL, PNG, and many others. She is a cat lover and avid blogger. Her thoughts are featured in various national and international media publications. Her victory mantra is, of all the things you ever win, a heart must mean the most. So nice, Farzana. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, I'll come back to you soon. And let me introduce quickly our next speaker, entrepreneur, Mr. Agnello Rajesh. Hello, Agnello Rajesh. How are you? Sorry, you are on mute. We can't hear you.
Lovely to be here, Aslam. It's a pleasure being connected and looking forward to the session. And it was really impressive listening to the introduction of Farzana.
Certainly, definitely. Thank you very much. And let me quickly introduce Agnello Rajesh. Agnello is it okay if I call you Agnello or Rajesh? Or I should? Okay.
That's fine.
So Agnello is the chairman of St. Agnello's VNCT Ventures. Agnello Rajesh is an educationist, author, first generation serial and social entrepreneur, a keen player in the e-commerce sector, and a business investor. Thank you, Agnello, for joining this session. Thank you very much for your time.
The pleasure is all mine, Aslam.
Thank you. And as we are moving further, we are still awaiting our industry or the university speaker. But let me quickly introduce the university to you. High Point University doesn't need any introduction. It is been renowned as one of the foremost universities in the US, and I've got the quick facts to share with you. It has got 5,200 students on its campus doing 58 majors, and they all come from 37 different countries. The university was founded in 1924. The university has got 20 sports club, 100 club for students, and it is situated in the state of North Carolina. It is spread across 430 acres of land, and it has got the sports facility of NCAA Division 1. And those who know, there are different divisions of sports facilities, and Division 1 is the highest athletics facilities which any university can have. So I'm very pleased to introduce this university. And as we go further, definitely we'll talk more about the university and the more about the entrepreneur as a subject. And for that, we have got our speakers already here. And let's begin our first round of questions. And let me have Farzana into the room. And let's begin with Farzana. Farzana, we've been talking about entrepreneurship, and India has been talking about startups, and there has been a wave of startups. In fact, a lot of universities and colleges have started entrepreneurship based programs. We have got some universities who in fact went further down to introduce the family business based program. So the universities are trying their niche to be more specific about this particular program. And they must have definitely realized that in order to be an entrepreneur in today's date, it's not as easy as it might have been in the past. the cutthroat competition, technology advancement, and a lot of other things. But what we would like to learn and understand from you as a very basic question is that what are the challenges as an entrepreneurs faces, which a student today's generation may not realize. They all want to get into the startups and want to get into the businesses. They have got a fabulous ideas. They may even get a good investor. But what are the challenges they may not foresee at this moment, and you would like to draw an attention to?
Thank you, Aslam, for a great question, and lovely to be sharing the stage with Agnello Rajesh. Okay, so to answer your question, so first of all, let me share with you that none of us were actually taught to be entrepreneurs. Okay, and that I think is one of the biggest needs that I guess universities today and the educationists today are actually seeing, that this is something which is really, really needed, so that we all as entrepreneurs, we have something to go by. All right. And in my view, and especially, and this is coming especially in the spate of what we all experienced in 2020, and this is for entrepreneurs, whether you are a startup or you are even somebody who is an established business. I would say one of the biggest challenges that an entrepreneur will face is money management. Because we all come in with these amazing ideas and these amazing thoughts that we feel will inspire the world and will change the world radically, but we forget that while you have passion that fuels everything, we also need to be very, very sharp in terms of how are we going to be fueling it with with money. And to the existing and the new, I would say that it is important to ensure that you are preparing yourself for at least 1 year down the line. So if you're even a startup, you should be able to host yourself for 1 year without any inflow of money coming in. I think that is one of the biggest and most important challenges for an entrepreneur. The second, I would say, is think about your clients a little more carefully. Because if you are concerned and if you are positioning your product only towards one cohort or one set of clients, what happens if that client no longer exists? Okay, so I think somewhere you also need to understand that you need to be thinking of catering to other groups as well, so that your growth and business goals keep moving. The third, I would say, is cost over people. Very many times, like I said, whether you're a startup or you're an established business, many entrepreneurs go by, whom can I hire? Which qualified person can I hire, but not pay too much? And I think this is committing harakiri, because the best people, if they are coming on board, they're going to bring in that much value. And I think as entrepreneurs, we need to respect that and hire people, not based on how much we can afford, but what value that they can bring to our business and how they will align themselves to help us grow. I think this is a very important aspect of entrepreneurship. And the last and most important, especially now, is a healthy, I would say, work-life balance. Because I'm talking about entrepreneurs who are not only men, but even women. Because today we have homeschooling, the house and the office is in one space. And, and entrepreneur, challenges continue with the market being the way it is, with crisis coming in and us being able to handle that. I would say also think of how to manage work life, how to blend work and life. So to me, I think because burnouts, negative attitudes, because of what is happening, can affect the way you make decisions. And the last, of course, is don't overthink too much. Sometimes we overthink and do a lot of analysis, which can lead to paralysis of thinking. So definitely pay a little attention to that. So to me, these are the 5 challenges that most entrepreneurs face.
Wow. Thank you, Fazana, for summarizing so quickly and so nicely. And so just for the audience benefits, friends, money management, client management, cost over people, healthy work-life balance, and thinking too much. This is what Fazana has to allow to share with you to be aware of that if you are getting into the entrepreneurship journey, this could be the challenges which most oftenly faced by the entrepreneurs, and then you would like to be aware of. Thank you, Farzana. Thank you very much for this point of introduction. I'll come back to you soon for the next point. Okay, on this note, I have got something to add. Now, based on what Farzana rightly said, the University of High Point introduced the bachelor program, and their bachelor program is of 4 years, but it comes with a very distinctive features. Some of the features, like they offer the coaching, and this is where this is very important for you, that you should be handholded, because the US data alone, I'm not even touching the Indian data at the moment, but I'm touching the US data alone, suggests that as on date, 50% of students who enter the colleges are undecided about their majors in US, whereby we consider this is the most modern, most advanced, most informative, loaded country, whereby the 50% of undergrads are still undecided when they are entering into their undergrads. And another shocking data suggests that 75% of students who are graduating change their majors at least once before the graduation. So that tells you a lot, right? Even the information is not necessarily is going to help you. It's the coaching, is the guidance, which is going to make a difference in your life. So with those notes, friends, let's move further and let's connect to Rajesh, and let's understand from Rajesh that how does he define entrepreneurship, being a successful entrepreneur. He's been into education. We've been seeing him when we started growing into this industry, and then he moved on to real estate and to the social entrepreneurship. And Rajesh, I must say that you've done a fantastic job. I mean, I was visiting your website, and you have got such a extensive coverage of entrepreneur journey. I mean, you also went into the sports arena. So we would like to definitely know more about it. But before that, we would want to know more about how do you define what kind of different entrepreneurships are existing in the market, and what's the scope for an entrepreneur in today's generation?
So, Aslam, I define entrepreneurship as doing God's work. God wants to keep people happy, and that's what an entrepreneur needs to do. He needs to keep his customers happy. He needs to keep his vendors happy. He needs to keep his shareholders happy. He needs to keep his employees and his teams happy. I totally agree with the sur that Farzana gave, and what a victory pitch that was. 5 critical points, and the most important point being money management and cost of people. That was fantastic, Farzana. Thank you for those insights. Well, I feel that entrepreneurship is a very interesting aspect because it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you alive, and it keeps you very, very aspirational. I say that India has a great scope, as a part of being a developing country, has a great scope to build entrepreneurship, and the population of the country constitutes to 1/6 population of the whole world, which means just imagine the scale and the size of the opportunity that is there. And at the same time, every corporate or every country or every successful company in the world wants to enter into India because it is a potential market. It's one of the most potential markets to come to. This gives us fantastic scope to welcome international interested companies into India, and collaborative working is going to be a new culture. So if you are being an entrepreneur in India, there are a lot of chances that people from the developed countries will come and collaborate with you and partner with you and make you big and large, and try to encash the market through your presence in this country. A developing country is always complicated for developed countries companies to come and set shop. That's why you see Toyota Kirloskar, you see Renault Mahindra, you see Tata Mercedes. So every organization which wants to come into a developing country, they need to have local partners. This is the apt time for every Indian to aspire to be an entrepreneur. My suggestions to people to become entrepreneurs is, before you become an entrepreneur, you need to have a zeal to be an entrepreneur. You need to be having the aptitude and the capability to take risks, because higher the risk, better the business, bigger the game. You need to be with that mindset. That's particularly important. But you need to be experienced. So at the youngest possible age, if you can take some work experience, that becomes the capital for you to become an entrepreneur. It's a myth that you need capital to become an entrepreneur. You just need a strong will. You need domain knowledge of what you are into, and you need to have the zeal to achieve what you envision as your future. So I think focus, commitment, dedication, and the right resources around you can create an environment of success that you can dwell upon. It is critically very important for us to be aware of the opportunities. And I would like to share with all the youngsters who are watching this show that the world is divided into three segments: the developed countries, the developing countries, and the underdeveloped countries. There are opportunities on the top, there are opportunities in the middle, and there are opportunities below the developing countries also. You need to suit it according to your aptitude and build yourself a business module which can help you to establish as a very strong entrepreneur. I would like to say that tomorrow's world is going to be a world of collaboration. Tomorrow's world is going to be a world of ecosystem, and you need to engage entrepreneurs more than employees to make yourself successful. You need to start believing in the concept of shared resources so that your resource cost is economical. You don't take the stress of capital too much. You don't take the stress of operating cost too much. You just need to have a brilliant idea, a very well identified marketplace, the right resources in place, which you earn over a period of your lifetime by creating trust and faith in you as an individual and you as a brand and you as an enterprise. If you have these elements in place, this is the right and the best time for entrepreneurship, and it is unlimited scope. An entrepreneur wears a watch or looks at a calendar only to achieve the milestones that he has decided, not when he has to leave from the office or when he has to take a holiday. So entrepreneurship is passionpreneur is an entrepreneur is what I call. If you are passionate about something and if you can convert that into a business opportunity, entrepreneurship is the best religion to follow. Alvin Fernandez has a question: what is the difference between entrepreneur and businessman? Well, not much of a difference. These are two different terminologies. Like the terminology that I love to say, that you need to be a passionpreneur, then an entrepreneur. Passionpreneur is somebody who has converted his passion into a business enterprise. And when you love what you do, life becomes a picnic. So that's what I would like to say about entrepreneurship, Aslam.
Thank you, Agnolo. Thank you very much for this descriptive answer. And I hope that Alvin also got his quick answer out of this explanation. Thank you, Agnolo. And I'll come back to you soon for the next point. And meantime, let's move to Fazana. Before that, the question which is coming in the way for Fazana to answer, that is also connected with the way coaching is becoming very important in the lives of entrepreneurship, and not as a matter of fact in the life of entrepreneurship, it is in the matter of any individual or any student who's seeking the progressive career. There is a very shocking data which was released a few months ago by Forbes magazine that 80% of low performers 80% of low performers have been found that they have got low EQ, or what you call emotional quotients or emotional intelligence. Also, it's been found that there are top 5 reasons why the new hires fails, and out of those top 5 reasons, the top 2 reasons, it's not about their know-how, it's not about their communication skills. In fact, it has been said that the first reason is 38% times the new hires fails because of lack of motivation. In fact, what Agnello touched upon this point, a lack of zeal maybe. And the second most important reasons why new hires fail to impress the future employer is the emotional intelligence by 29%, friends. So we are talking beyond education here. Now we are talking beyond having your marks right. So on this note, I would like to invite Fazana. Fazana, this is something which is very shocking. In fact, we've been taught that, okay, learn well so that you study well, you get the marks and you get your desired university, and that would lead to a successful life. But here the data suggests something else. So my question in relation to is that what's the role of a coach in this particular area in order to handhold the students or tomorrow's entrepreneurs to be successful?
Thank you, Aslam. In fact, I just want to go back to what Agnello just mentioned, and I was really, really inspired by that because I've never really thought of it. Is that entrepreneurship is God's work, and if entrepreneurship is God's work, I would say that coaches are those people who actually throw light to create that God's work. So that's what I feel I do. My job is just to provide clarity and give direction, because that is what a coach really needs to do. The winner is always within each one of us, and the role that coaching plays in entrepreneurship is actually a lot, because an entrepreneur actually leads a very lonely life. because Agnello just said, they're all passionpreneurs. And not everyone who is passionate about something, not everyone around those people are people who are always rallying for them. Sometimes they're just pushed into a corner and they feel, oh my God, I'm the only one trying to make this huge change. And nobody is seeing the kind of change I can actually make with the kind of product or service I provide. So in entrepreneurship, it begins with I, which means that as a coach, my role is to help entrepreneurs to understand who are they and why are they doing what they are doing. It's important to get that perspective. And coaching helps helps entrepreneurs in that. It helps you to dissect yourself, spend a little time to understand who you are and exactly what is your goal. I think the starting point is that, so that you actually have it all in front of you as a blueprint. The second aspect of coaching and entrepreneurship is setting the right expectations, because very many times we are so influenced by perhaps what somebody else is doing, because we all carry certain baggages. So the role of a coach is to help you shed the baggage and just focus, bring back the focus on what is it that you can do, what is beyond your reach, and where you need support to make it happen. Because Agnello also mentioned about collaboration and all of that. Not everyone comes into entrepreneurship thinking that they want to collaborate, because as entrepreneurs, you want to do everything yourself. Right. So somewhere, knowing that you need to reach out. And coaching allows entrepreneurs the confidence that it's okay to reach out for support. It's okay to reach out for help, because help is around. You don't need to do everything yourself. So and like I keep going back to what the last year has taught us, because I think the last year has actually changed the paradigm with which we looked at many areas of our life. So no longer are we looking at 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 20-year goals. I mean, and thinking that, oh my God, everything is going to work just like that. It's not. And therefore, we've got to be nimble, we've got to be agile, and we've got to know that, hey, when a crisis happens, how do I handle myself? So coaching helps entrepreneurs to understand, to foresee, to whatever extent possible, what can go off. Because you need to have a zoomed out perspective and also hold yourself accountable. The third aspect, of course, is improved leadership. Because with new challenges, with conflicting personalities, with the kind of evolving work habits and routine that we are all facing, and I guess we'll continue to face in the next few years, with so many different leadership styles that we also have, it's important to understand which leadership style to use, what kind of communication to skill to sharpen, because eventually we are all dealing. We may be in whichever product or business, product or service. We are ultimately in the people business, because we are selling to people. So how to better balance schedules, how to have faster decision making, how to grow, how to harmonize and bring everyone together. So it's something like the light leadership, LIGHT, where it's about having leadership which influences, inspiring people around you, focusing on growth, harmonizing everyone, so that you can make it all transformative.
Wow. So friends, just to summarize what Farzana said, the setting up a right goal, that's what the coaches helps you to do at the first space. And then it also helps you to get your right expectations, be agile and have improved leadership. And that's very important, because selecting the right kind of leadership, because most of the time we go onto social media, we just listen to someone, we get influence and we try to copy him or her. And their style, which may not be suitable to you. And that's where Farzana came exactly onto the point that the leadership styles are different. You need to know, and this is where coaches helps you to identify your own style. Thank you, Farzana, for such a beautiful conversations. And let me go back to Agnello for another point. And here we are going to talk about the Agnello's journey. And before we talk about and learn from Agnello, let me also just echo what Farzana said is about the coaches. So what High Point University does differently than the other university is that they have got their residences coaches. It's like on-campus coaches which are available on and off for the students' help. And some of the coaches' name which I would like to share with you: the co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak. He is the residence coach available for business students at campus. Similarly, Mark Randolph, who is the co-founder of Netflix, he's also the visiting coach available for the business students who are taking the entrepreneurship as a subject. So friends, that's what you gain by being at this beautiful university, for especially for business and especially for entrepreneurship program. Now let's understand from Agnello himself, he being the successful entrepreneur and in different areas of his life. Agnello, would you like to share some of your success mantra and what student can take out of your success story?
So, Aslam, I have been privileged to be a slum boy during my childhood, and what we have reached today is definitely God's grace and the support of the people along the journey of life, and that has been interesting. I would also like to share that people who celebrate victory quite often have a coach hidden behind them. I always love to say that even on the day of retirement, Sachin Tendulkar had a coach. So even after being the best batsman in the world, he had a coach till the last date of his batting for the country. So a coach is critically important. Life should be full of dronacharyas. So there is a coach who knows you have been coached. There are coaches who don't know that they are coaching people. So you can have a coach, you can have Farzana knowing that you are a coachee and she's a coach and you can get coached. You can also have coaches where they don't know that you are being coached, but you observe them and you learn. Like for example, for me, Anand Mahindra, Steve Jobs, all of them have been my coaches in life. It is very interesting when you come from an economically challenging background, you have nothing to lose. So there is only the upside that you can keep going up. And that's what I did. And I did it with multiple businesses right from a very tender age of 13. I used to make bindis in a bindi factory where the bindis, the ladies there, they use it on their forehead. And I used to make 3 rupee 50 paise per week. When a sandwich used to cost 20 paise and a vada pav used to cost 15 paise. So it's an interesting journey. I've been a door-to-door salesman, and in every customer I found a coach. I came across people where I rang the door and they not only they shut their doors on my face, but I also rang bells on doors where people not only opened their doors but opened their hearts out, and they bought even when they didn't want to buy, just because they knew that this boy will study with the money that they give me as customers. So I've been blessed to have and to come across the right quality of people and type of people in my life. And I'm one guy who never takes no for an answer. For me, a no is a new opportunity. I used to have a very good friend's father. He used to have a very famous dialogue which I started hearing since I was in the 8th standard. जो कहते थे कि जिसने की शर्म उसके फूटे करम, जिसने की बेशर्माई उसको मिली दूध मलाई. So do not feel ashamed of what you do in life. If you want to be successful in life, become shameless. I have absolutely no shame going door to door, selling cosmetics, Venki's chicken, perfume, pile chappals, clothes, freezer mats, you name it. But let me tell you, my actual education, my actual qualification was ringing the doorbell on an unknown house, meeting an unknown person, striking a relationship, and enduring that relationship even today, when we have traveled so far in life by the grace of God and the support of people. What I strongly feel, Aslam, is relationship is the strongest ship anyone can ever build. So as students, as youngsters who are watching these programs, who want to build their entrepreneurship career by getting qualified in entrepreneurship with the quality of coaches that Aslam just spoke about, the co-founders of Apple and of Netflix, that's unheard of. I'm sure these kinds of universities can shape the leaders of tomorrow. The quality of the coach that's backing you will define the quality of success that you will achieve and the victory that you will celebrate. It's critically important. The quality of thoughts that get imbibed in you will define the quality of actions you'll take in life and become an entrepreneur at a later date. The world is a marketplace. The whole world today, thanks to technology, has become a small village. I was blessed to be into the business of computer education. We were one of the largest computer education companies in Mumbai with having 43 to 45 outlets. We trained 450,000 students. I have students studying and I have students who are well established in almost all the major cities of not only India as a large country, but the world as a map. So it's been a brilliant journey. Today I'm into real estate development. So all these businesses that I've developed, I'm into hospitality, I'm into real estate development, I'm into e-commerce, I'm into fashion apparel, I'm into restaurants, food business, I'm into fashion jewelry, I'm into school education. We are getting into schools of a very different quality, where Lena Asher, the founder of Billabong High and Kangaroo Kids, has partnered with me, and we are creating some game-changing quality of education for the population of the country, for the population of India. So we are doing a lot. Now, what I would like to say is, be determined, be focused, always have a large picture. Do not feel shy to dream big. Friends, we need to realize one thing. Every reality begins with a dream. What becomes a thought becomes your action. You need to be focused, and I strongly believe in three words in my life. One is destiny, second is the law of attraction, and third is manifestation. It begins with you manifest what you want to achieve. The universe will bring, with the help of law of attraction, the right resources into your life, where you can design, shape, and reshape your destiny. I love the dialogue of Shah Rukh Khan on these three words in one of his movies, where he says, किसी चीज को अगर आप दिल से हासिल करने की इच्छा रखोगे, and if you work towards it, सारी कायनात, the entire environment, the entire ecosystem will come together and help you to achieve what you dreamt. So don't be conjuice in having a dream. Dream the largest, dream the biggest, and always do not be a local citizen. Always think global. Always think to be a global entrepreneur. From a place like Malwani, which was a Tadipar area in Mumbai, where all the criminals of Mumbai used to be externed, to where I live today, and to the offices that we have in Dubai, in Singapore, in Malaysia, in London, in US, in Australia. This is possible only because we dreamt big. Capital is not required to dream big. To become a successful entrepreneur, you do not need capital. If you are a successful player in the domain knowledge that you possess, there are too many people who will provide the capital to you, but you be focused, you be competent, you be committed, and the most important aspect, have confidence and belief in what you think, in what you do, in what you dream, and in what you aspire.
Absolutely. Here comes the words of wisdom, and it's very difficult to catch all those points. But I tried my best to write down for your reference, friends. So dream big, don't be conjuice onto your dreams, and then believe in visualization, believe in your destiny, and then it will come to you. Thank you very much, Agnel. And I'm sure that your story is inspiring a lot of students and as well as parents who are listening to this show. And on this note, let's also move. Okay, we have got one comment from Amit Kumar. Thank you, Amit, for appreciating the session. Thank you very much. We appreciate your comment as well. Okay, so on this note, let's bring also Fazana in the room, and that's what we try to do. And so just to make it more interesting. And so now we have got everyone. So Fazana, with this note, we are just going further, and then Agnello has given us a key to move to the next point, be global. And that's where the next question comes to you. We are talking about globalization. We are talking about the world is becoming a global village. We also talk about collaboration, which is very much the international key. And the international players are coming and looking out for the partners in India, and as well as Indian entrepreneurs are going out and making a partnership in abroad. Now, under this scenario, how does this international exposure in terms of international education or having a networking exposure benefits an individual, especially whether he is a student or whether he wants to be a tomorrow's entrepreneur who wants to travel? And you yourself have traveled a lot. You have service to the clients across the globe. So what's your take on to this, having an international exposure?
Thank you, Aslam, for that. So yes, like Agnello just said, that for every victory, you need to have a dream, and that dream needs to be really big. I'd like to take it a little further and say, no victory happens without support. No victory happens without support, and all of us need people around us to push us towards our goals, and that is where networking comes in the picture. In fact, today, right now, You can be wherever you are. You could be in a small town in Alwar, or you can be in Malwan, or wherever. You can still be global, and that is the beauty of the age that we are in, which also means that you don't need to have humongous amounts of money to reach across the world. Earlier we thought, "अरे
True.
travel करेंगे तब वहां पहुंचेंगे." अब वो बिल्कुल नहीं रहा. You can be wherever you are and reach out. In fact, today social media, connecting has become all the more important, because collaborations are the key. Right now, collaborations are the key. And how do you get those collaborations? How do you get people to even know you? And that is where exposure to through the social media, to the various networks that we have, becomes important, because eventually networking is a very personal skill. It is built on building relationships and being an excellent, I would say, communicator, because you need to know how to communicate and what to put out there. It's not about being present on LinkedIn. It's how are you being present on LinkedIn? How are you being viewed? Because there is an international audience out there who are watching you, and people get drawn towards your ideas and your ideologies and your values because somewhere they see a connect. And networking in today's environment is vital for growth. It's not only vital for growth, but it's vital for opportunities that could be out there. And these opportunities could be varied. They could be a joint venture. It could be a partnership. It could be maybe somebody selling their business, and you are probably waiting for that kind of business, to start maybe in wherever you may be. So it gives you an opportunity to even present what you are doing to the world without much at all. It helps you get qualified leads or referrals. Right. And I think importantly, we are all human beings who are connected with, who are connected with a vibe which touches our souls. That's why, that's how we like to do business with people as well. And, the world has become, I would say, has actually shrunk and become flatter. So, this cross-pollination of ideas, this need to collaborate with people. Like, I know in the space that I'm in, I get collaboration opportunities from, people as far out as, Serbia, or, some parts of Dansk. And that I don't think it would have been possible if I was just sitting in my Andheri West flat and thinking that, hey, you know what, I just need to look at people, within my city or around my country. Here you are doing business like this. I have a client who is a 62-year-old, widow, and she is in a remote place in Himachal, and she gets orders for. So she does some beading work, etc. She gets orders from through this network from places as far out as Milwaukee, or places which are maybe in parts of Morocco. That's what she does. And who would have thought that she would ever be able to do this? So it's all about how visible you are, how you are able to provide value. So you need to be a person of value. It's not about selling yourself on platforms. It's not about selling yourself at networking events. It's about, giving value to people and being useful to people, because that is what builds your credibility. And you don't have to, pitch yourself too hard. People will be drawn to you only because there is a vibe that they sense in you, which they feel if we align, it will help both our goals. So I think networking, international exposure in today's world, is where we are all moving. And the world is getting flatter and flatter as we move into it.
Absolutely right, Fazana. I totally agree with you. And friends, this is what the experience and the success stories are there in front of you from this eminent speakers. And that is going to shape up your mindset. Networking is the key. And because of that, university also, like High Point University, also put a lot of emphasis onto networking sessions on the campuses. In fact, let me quote some of the figures here. Like the university is been ranked #1 in 2019 for their career development activities and workshops which they have presented to the students in order to let them connect with their future employers. The university was also ranked as the most innovative colleges in 2019 by US News. Again, because of the relationship what Fazana is talking about, they were able to build it for their students with the future employers. So university throws a lot of events like internships and career expo on campus. There are focus fairs, like if you're looking for a careers in media and communication, so a fair focusing onto media, whereby the big media agencies and companies are invited on campus to meet these students. So these are the kind of events which university keep on organizing for the students' benefit. And it's not about what rightly Fazana is saying. It's not about, and they mentioned very clearly, it's not about you selling yourself, but to just having into a conversation and in a relationship to understand each other's needs, so that you don't wait for the graduation to happen to look for the placements, but when you begin your education, at that time you understand the expectation of future employers or maybe your future business opportunities, and these conversations will help you to take a right step to reach to your final goal. Okay, on this point, so let's come back to the conclusion parts, and let's have Agnello. Agnello, we would like to take your opinion that when the student with any international university, as a matter of fact, in today's example, High Point University, who is offering international exposure, coaching, and on-campus mentoring sessions, along with the business programs with different majors, is offering. When these kind of students are graduating, how do you see as an Indian entrepreneur when they come back to India, either you want to purchase the existing business or start onto something on their own? How do you see this experience can help them back in India?
So, Aslam, any international exposure gives you connections, and that is critically important. What knowledge you carry is important, critically important, but what connections you have and what connections you earn will determine the size of the success that you'll achieve in life. So, I'm a strong believer of studying in institutions where you can really build a strong network. If you want to be a well-networked person, your philosophy of life needs to change, and it needs to say that giving is the best way of living. Only when you give ideas, give business opportunities, give whatever you have for the benefit and good of somebody else, you become a magnet and the people flock towards you because you are considered as a person who always gives. Every successful human being in this world as an entrepreneur has always been a great giver. We don't remember how much a person has earned, but we never forget how much a person has donated or given for a good cause. So giving is the best way of living, and I strongly believe, Aslam, what you say is critically so important. Learning in a good establishment will give you network which will be useful for the rest of your life. I'm a firm believer in that. School friends and college friends are people who become your lifelong assets, and they cross your paths in such a way that they enrich your life. I'm such a strong believer in this that I've got two children. I've got a son and a daughter. I sent both of them to Good Shepherd in Ooty. My intent was education, of course, but a bigger intent was the quality of friends that they will achieve during their schooling days will become the backbone of the journey that they want to cross in life. And they have
Absolutely
got
right.
some wonderful friends from across the world because it's an international school having students coming in from multiple countries. So all the people who want to pursue a career at High Point, I'm sure at the university, I'm sure you'll come back with knowledge. That's for sure. That's what you paid the fees for. But more than that, you will come with international exposure, international ways of thinking and living, and international connections. And it is all about how you can collaborate and build a new ecosystem with permutation and combination, which will be mutually beneficial, and leverage them in a very fast growing economy called India. And we are supposed to be the economical giants in by 2050, thanks to population, which was once upon a time considered as a curse, is today our biggest strength. And thanks to phenomenally brilliant coaches like Farzana Suri, who can definitely coach people to become better entrepreneurs. You can never stop learning. It's a continuous process, off the field, on the field, all the time. So I guess international exposure is the best form of learning. I am a very avid traveler, travel most of the countries in the world, and my best learning happened not only during those travels, but also during the conversations that I strike with unknown strangers who have today become a very strong part of my life. So connections, networking, international education, international exposure, if you combine all of this together, they will determine the proportion of growth that you will achieve. And I always firmly believe in a saying that I say that money in good hands develops the society, as an individual, as a human being, it is mandatory for you to be successful so that you can add happiness to people around you by providing them products and services. So be successful, be well educated, and study in the right places.
Wow. Thank you
True.
very much for these golden words, Agnello. And as Agnello said very clearly, that you also believe in giving. And this is where I would like to connect one very important point. The University of High Point also believes in having a community services, not just at the school level, but also at the bachelor's and master's level. In fact, it is a part of your curriculum and it is compulsory to give you some credits, which you can add back to your academics. So as a community services, they have got a lot of projects and events which you can check onto their websites, and then you are encouraged to participate in these community services so that you get the feel of belonging and being connecting with the local societies and doing something, and not waiting for you to be successful and then go back to the society to give for, but also when you are learning and when you are capable of even sharing your knowledge and your experience or even a small time, that's is also been considered as giving. So that's a very important thing which you also would like to note. Just to conclude, so if you are excited and inspired with this conversation of our very inspiring speakers, then I'm sure that you're looking forward to move further and explore the world for your higher education. So the students who are looking for a bachelor program at High Point University, the fees would be approximately $50,000 a year. However, they also offer up to $10,000 to $15,000 scholarship in order to subsidize your fees. And the best part is that the students who get into the bachelor's level get that complete tuition fee waived off for their master's course. So that's something which is very unique, and I'm sure that you don't know about this particular fact. So that's something to add to your knowledge about this particular university. And let's conclude this session by asking our $1,000,000 questions to our speakers. So Fazana, we would like to learn and know from you that what could be your one-line success advice to our students who are listening to you.
So, one line success advice will be begin with the attitude of I'm here to serve. The moment you do that, you are, you will change the way you're looking at not only business but your own life.
Wow, such a beautiful sentence. So, friends, begin with the intention of serving others. And that's what Fazana has to say to make your life successful. And let's move to Agnello. Agnello, what's your one line success advice to students?
On relationships, money will just flow.
Absolutely. So, based on everything onto the relationship, look for the long term goals rather than looking for the short term goals, and that would help you to go further in your life. So, we are surely missing in today's session Jim Smith, who was international director, and I'm sure that he must be still enjoying and partying his new year. But I'm sure that he would have concluded this session with this particular line, which was coined by Nito Cubian. He is the president, billionaire, and one of the successful entrepreneur, and also the president of High Point University. And he has to say that your present circumstances don't determine where you go; they only determine where you start. So, with this, I would like to thank you for your time, for watching this show, and I would like to thank our speakers for their beautiful insights and words and sharings and success stories, which would definitely help our students and our listeners to grow further in their life. So thank you everyone for watching this show of Study Entrepreneurship. If you still have any question and looking for further information, you can call on to our helpline number 9987099890 or write to us on info@alif.in, and our professional counselors will be able to help you instantly. My name is Aslam Sheikh, founder and CEO of Alif, signing off with a promise to come back again next Friday, sharp at 5 p.m., with another interesting topic and with some amazingly talented speakers to enlighten us on the subject matter that matters to you the most. Until then, thank you for watching the program. Stay safe and stay excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure
Thank
meeting you, Farzana.
Yeah, pleasure meeting you.